There we go. Yes.
Um, yeah, I got you.
Perfect. We got you. Thank, thank you so much for working with us.
Yeah, of course. Good to see you guys.
With you.
Such a cutie.
Well, welcome. For those tuning in, this is the beginning of the episode, but it's called Everybody Speaks, and most importantly, we are here with the infamous, most beautiful Maddy O'Neal. Maddy,
Aw.
you are a living legend. As we were watching, you just took a week off and went to Coachella and just had a bunch of fun. But I guess the main thing, we're just going to ask some questions about your life and what you've been doing and talk about some music, I guess.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, so
Hit me.
I one of the things most prevalent in in my mind right now is that you just finished up a big tour with LSZEE and did some stops with Daily Bread and a whole number of people. But I guess I'm curious what your experiences were there, and if you had any fun stories about just being on the on this most recent tour.
Yeah, I actually just finished up 3 weeks on tour with Daily Bread. That was a bus tour. I'm still kind of like popping on and off of the LSZ tour. So this weekend I'm in Boston on Friday and
Yes.
then Richmond on Saturday. That's my own show. But yeah, I did 3 weeks on a bus with Daily Bread, which was probably one of my favorite tours to date. Um, it was super, super special. Rhett is somebody that I've known like from the beginning of my tour or from my career. We go back like 12 years ago, and he played his first show ever opening for my old music project in Atlanta when he was kind of transferring between being like a pro wakeboarder into the music world. So to do that tour with him now and to see how far we've both come is was just like wild. We just kept like talking about it over and over again and like making sure we had those drop-in moments, like, like look where we are now, because that's so important. So that was
Already.
really special to do. Yeah. That was really special to do with like, one of my day one homies. We've kind of had each other's backs forever. And yeah, I mean, this industry is insane. So to have friends that you can do the journey with, I think is one of the coolest parts about it.
Yeah.
No, for sure, and it's fascinating to see that like you have been somewhat of a constant presence in this electronic and bass scene, and I'm curious what kind of initially pulled you into producing and DJing in that kind of heavier side of music rather than the soft side.
Yeah, I mean, I got my start when I was living in Boulder. I went to CU and I moved from St. Louis. I grew up in St. Louis and I really kind of like was cracked wide open by what was happening in Colorado and all the music that I was hearing. It was like Pretty Lights, Big Gigantic, Grizz, STS9, He Who Shall Not Be Named. They were all kind of like popping off um, right when I was like a baby in the middle of it. And I was just like, what is this that I'm hearing? It was like the year that Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites came out. And I was
Uh,
just like so blown away. And I was like, I need to figure out how these sounds are being made. I was just like, I genuinely just got curious.
mhm.
And I kind of just like went down a YouTube rabbit hole, taught myself everything that I know. And even like back then, there was like not that many tutorials. So I was like in search of people to collaborate with that were pursuing the same thing. And yeah, I just kind of like went for it, honestly.
Yeah, you did it.
And yeah, at first it wasn't like I'm gonna turn this into a career. It was like let me fuck around and
Find
have fun
out.
with it. And then I just yeah, and I found out.
And now you're here. And like
So
you were probably like one of the first like females to like do it, Like especially I feel like in Denver, I can't think of hardly anybody else, especially like creating the sound that you started to create and like you've honed into. And
yeah.
I think you do like hold that tier and hold that ground. So is there
Oh.
anything like being a female in that space that you've had to like push your way through and be like, no, I'm here now, and here's why.
Yeah. I mean, well, thanks for saying that. It's wild to me because when I first started, I think there was like six female DJs that I knew of, you know, and they weren't like accessible to me. We weren't like friends. Um, and I was in a duo back in the day, but to see how far it's come and how prevalent females are out there is really incredible. And to know that I had a part in that is even cooler. um I was just kind of like trying to do my thing, and I was just like, I'm just an artist, I'm just an artist, I'm not like a female artist, I'm not like, I just try I always tried to maintain that attitude because I wanted it to be about my music. I didn't want it to be, you know me put in like a,
Music, it's
a,
like, huh,
a
I'm
category.
making it. Like,
Yeah,
accept
for sure.
me for me, move on.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think some of the challenges that I had in the beginning was like I was like dressing much more like androgynously. I didn't want to like sell my sex. And I tried to do everything I could to gain respect as an artist. And now I feel like I've earned the right to look and be as sexy or do whatever the fuck I want, which is cool.
Yeah.
But but in the beginning, I was like very, very careful in the way that I presented myself because there wasn't a lot of other examples of women. Like, what are female DJs wearing? Like there's a whole branding side of that also. There's Alice in Wonderland in a giant T-shirt, but like, yeah, it was an interesting thing to navigate for
Yeah.
sure.
And again, like you said, there were no examples, and like it's so broad. You made yourself who you are just by making the niche music that you make. Well, not niche, but like
Yeah.
you're Maddie Flair. You're Maddie Flair.
Yeah. Thanks.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I came up in that Pretty Lights ecosystem, and I'm very, very grateful that I had people that allowed me to just be me. I didn't feel like I had to follow trends or do this or that. I mean, I was obviously heavily inspired by that world. You can hear it in my music still. I feel like I've carved out my own lane beyond that now. But yeah, it's been a crazy journey.
No, I guess one of the questions we wanted to ask was who you or what did you do before you fully committed to this journey?
Well, I went to CU Boulder. I was studying journalism. I was pre-journalism and marketing, and I wanted to be a writer. And sophomore year is kind of when I started my music journey, and I still finished school and kind of got like a basic communication degree because I knew by the end that this is what I wanted to do. But I didn't really know how realistic it was as a career. Um, and
When
yeah, I never really got. Go
No, I
ahead.
was just saying. Well, leading into that is when did it start to like take off and become something you really thought could be a full-time position?
Um, well, there was years and years of being super broke while you're pursuing it. But I knew right away that like pursuing this wasn't something that you could half-ass.
Right.
I had to like fully commit if I really wanted to do it. But I think once I really immersed myself in the Colorado scene, I realized that there was steps to get there. There was a realistic, um, you play this venue, you sell that out, you move on to this venue. And I think that's one of the cool parts about Colorado is there is a clear path like to get to Red Rocks. It's like feels like a
There's,
video game almost.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
So, you know,
I'm on level Cervantes now,
yeah.
and like,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's true.
So I
I hear
think,
it a lot. I do hear it a lot. Where I'm like, all right, so the next step, like you're on level 10 now. You're a
yeah,
shaman.
totally.
So
But
it's
I think once I understood how the industry worked, it became a little bit more realistic for me rather than just like floating in space, because it is a business at the end of the day, and you have to understand what you're doing. and like the steps to get there and to get your music heard, and you know, and that was before even, what was that?
I was gonna say market yourself. Like you have to kind of know how to market. It's almost like you yourself
Yeah,
for the product, and you gotta let people know, like, hey, my product's pretty good.
yeah,
Like, check this product out. Take this product with you places, and it's.
right,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
but
tough, but you do have to like hone in and be like, I am the shit, and but humbly,
yeah, but I am humbly.
respectfully.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool because I think the people in Colorado that have been there the whole time, like once you see that you're having an impact on people and creating a community, that's when it really starts to kick in. It feels like you're building something that's bigger than just, you know, this song or your music. It's, you see this community start to unfold. Um, yeah, the monetary stuff came way later, but I always knew that I was gonna go full on and never stop.
Oh yeah. No, and it's one of those things.
Yeah.
If you have the right pursuit in making good music, you just trust that the monetary will make its way in and find the ways it should if you do it correctly as you've been doing, and it's the growth, the blossoming.
Yeah. Yeah. And I come from a musical family. Like my dad was in bands and my brother was in bands, and I saw my dad do a bunch of different things over the course of his life, and he was always miserable. Like no matter how successful he was at being a lawyer, he always came back to his art, like whatever fed his soul. And I think I kind of learned from watching him do that, you know, why don't I skip those things and go full on this?
Yeah,
And that, you know, those things will always be there,
Oh
but I
yeah.
had to give it a shot. Yeah.
I feel like pursuing passion is so important, and I don't feel like people fully understand that they're able to do that. Like
Yeah.
they don't understand,
It's,
like there's just one path. Like college is cool, but like if you have something that you want to do, take the leap of faith. And I think we've had this conversation pretty like almost all the time. Like just do it. If you tell yourself no, I can't, I have to stick yourself in this little bubble, then you'll never go far. And I
yeah.
feel like you know, now you write a different way. Like now the novel that you create or the short stories are, you know, your music, it's your albums, it's your journey and the friends that you've met along the way. Like that's your book. That's
Yeah.
what you I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it takes courage to go after your dreams and make all the sacrifices that you have to. And I think that's a cool thing that's a part of what I'm doing is like feeling like I'm inspiring people to go after what they want to go after and that it is possible. You just have to, you know, number one, believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. And yeah, it's anything's possible. You just got to put your mind to it and do the work and truly believe in what you're doing.
No, and it fascinates me because you mentioned the Colorado scene and how you kind of come up in that scene, and then recently you've now taken the journey of moving to Los Angeles. And I was curious what fueled that and how it's been going so far, and just your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm still kind of like unpacking. You don't want to see what's behind me. But I've been in Colorado for 16 years, so I was previously, and I credit that community and the people that I met for my entire career, like full on, and it will always be my home. I just kind of reached a point where I was feeling a little bit stagnant and like being inspired. And there was like a whole other wave of things happening coming into Colorado, and something just told me it was time to like keep moving. And I still own my house there. I'll go back a bunch. All my best friends and my support system are there. But um, yeah, I just wanted to experience new things and just kind of feel like I was challenging myself. I had been there for so long that it just felt like I was kind of doing the same things over and over again.
Oh yeah.
It's a new
Yeah.
leap of faith.
No.
It's a new
Yeah,
jump.
exactly. It is. Yeah. So I actually I just came off like the craziest 2 months of my whole life because the beginning of the year I did my own mountain tour, and then I hopped on the Of the Trees tour, and then I moved in like the 5 days that I had off. So I basically drove out to
Yay!
California, dropped my shit, went on Daily Bread tour, and then I left my dog in Colorado and I just picked him up yesterday. So I'm like finally like honing everything in.
I
What'd you say?
said reunited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been wild. I haven't really immersed myself in the scene out here other than going to Coachella.
Which,
But I'm
I mean,
excited.
it's immersive.
As
Yeah,
in deserved as well. Deserved.
yeah, thanks. It was fun to just go to a festival and not have any agenda or responsibilities and just kind of walk around, take it in. Yeah, it was nice.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Well, no, and so you mentioned some of these big tours and whatnot, and then I see that I guess you have big gigantic at Red Rocks later in the year, and I was just curious, what are like you've played everywhere basically at this point. Now, what are some of your favorite places to get out, and what does it mean to have played Red Rocks three times? I guess.
Um, I've actually done it 4 times if you
Oh,
count
excuse,
if
excuse
you
me.
count the I did one it was it wasn't during COVID. I think it was 2021 with the floozy, so it was half capacity.
Okay.
But Red Rocks is insane. I've like think I've cried tears of joy every time walking off stage. It just doesn't feel real. Um One of my other favorite places to play is Burning Man.
Mm-hmm.
I've done Burning Man twice now, which was a brand new experience for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just felt so free out there. Like I went and played like my first bass set on CDJs because I usually use Ableton. Just bopping around playing a bunch of different Madhouse sets. And I kind of go into the weekend like being just enough prepared for anything, and then just kind of like go for it if situations arise, and that is like really exciting for me, and also terrifying.
I think
you know
you got a USB and like the drive, then you got it. Like you're
yeah,
halfway there. Like
for sure,
I'm ready to
for sure.
go.
Yeah,
Burning Man.
so
Yeah.
that's definitely up there on my favorite places to play.
So they dropped the
Yeah.
lineup for Burning Man yet?
I don't think there's really an
No.
official lineup.
Oh.
The stages kind of produce a lineup as it gets closer, but
Well,
Yeah,
a lot of
they put out the
if you go to they will come.
I forget what it's called, but
Methodology.
they put it out like a couple of days before, yeah.
But
So
you mentioned something, a newer idea or something that hasn't quite fully developed, but Madhouse, and we're allegedly getting our first Madhouse EP. But educate the people. What is Madhouse, and what should we expect?
yeah, Madhouse is my side house project that kind of was born over the pandemic. I was doing a lot of live streams, and if you come see a regular Maddy O'Neal set, it's primarily my music, and I have drum pads and I interact with my own songs a little bit more. But I was kind of getting bored and also realizing that the same people were tuning in to my live streams, and I was like, okay, my catalog is only this big, you know. So simultaneously I was falling in love with house music and had more time to really like dive into other genres. And so I took my PPP loan and I bought CDJs and just started DJing house. And the deeper that I got into it, I was like, oh, I wonder if I could like do this at the same time as what I'm doing, and not like fully create a new name, but like it's fun, and I think it's fun for people to hear my musical taste, because I love seeing people do that. I'm like, I wonder what they're listening to, you know? So yeah, this summer or fall, I don't want to say it's coming this summer. I'm in the middle of my first Madhouse EP, which is very exciting. So I will be releasing like probably 4 house tracks very, very soon, or trickling them out rather, which I'm really pumped about, because that was like a whole journey that has been manifesting for some time. And it's honestly, doing after parties and, you know, second sets at festivals have been some of my favorite moments ever. Um, it's just freeing, you know. I feel like there's no bounds. I don't have to worry about having a certain amount of my own music in there. And yeah, it's been really fun.
It's just like,
And I'm
yeah,
excited
doing
to,
what you
yeah, exactly.
No, so speaking of projects and creating, I feel like one of the curiosities of the people is always to know, like, what artists are curious if, like, if you had a dream collaboration or someone that you've yet to work with, who would be someone that, like, is in your mind? You're like, oh, like, I think we would make some great music.
Um, I've always wanted to work with Toki Monster. Um,
Ooh, wow.
she would, you both go, ooh. She was actually one of, you know, the females when I first started that I really looked up to, and I think it'd be a cool full circle moment to get back with her. And I think she's always doing some super unique, like really artsy,
Very,
dope shit.
very vibey.
somebody tag her right now. Dakota.
Yeah. Yeah, we've crossed paths a couple times, but now that I'm in LA, I might reach out. But you know, she's working with Anderson Paak, who's like one of my favorites of all time. Yeah, I think that would be a really fun one.
Of all random things, I think he is now transitioning to becoming a DJ as well.
Oh yeah, DJ Pee Wee.
Pee Wee, yeah. So I was like, it's something I say because it might be inappropriate what I say.
No, that's
Yeah. Yeah, I actually saw a couple of DJ Pee Wee sets at Coachella. They're pretty fucking fun. He's got like a whole alter ego.
He's just a ball of energy.
Yeah.
It is fascinating to see just the depth of knowledge he has in music, and then also a performer is a performer, and he was born to perform for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So yeah, that would be a fun collab. I mean, Anderson Paak up there too.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Where are these tags? Let's get this tag. We're gonna put it all together. So like, is there any guilty pleasure genre that you listen to? Like for me, I would say like nobody of my friend group is in here. Like drum and bass, I'll listen to.
You check. Yeah.
Anything for you where you're just like, yeah, that's my thing on the low.
I listen to a lot of like neo soul.
Yeah.
When I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
Sucker for some R&B and just like some really soulful beats.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of like my downtime go-tos.
Oh yeah.
I mean, as long as it's not like hard style in the shower, like I feel like you don't seem like
No. No. You gotta give yourself some breaks every once in a while.
Yeah. Now, when you mentioned neo soul, and I feel I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it, but Richmond has been called the home of neo soul.
No way.
And there's a big, that's super big right now. And so I'd recommend, if you get a chance, check out Butcher Brown. They're 5 or 6 guys.
I know that name.
Yeah.
Super epic, great guys. But yeah, so I'm glad you know them. That shows
yeah,
you know.
Butcher Brown is.
Fuck yeah, I actually forgot about them. I will.
Another dream collab?
No.
Also, yeah. Hey, it would work really well.
I
didn't know that about Richmond. That's crazy.
It was a random, like, nuanced article, and I think we were trying to claim being the home of neo soul, but there's definitely some random historical facts that align us with being the kind of new age, like funky sound, but then that heavy emotion, which honestly, I want to say brings me to my next one. But you've always been someone to put a lot of emotion into your music, and I feel like a lot of the shows I've been to, it's a very captivating experience. And I was curious, what has inspired you? If there's any people that have inspired you to kind of make your performances so kind of captivating or emotional, I guess.
Um, well, I think for me, that's like the whole point is like trying to create little moments in time. With this, with my songs, with my set, like telling a story, and my musical taste is definitely vast. So, and my catalog is kind of all over the place too. So, I think that has been an advantage and a challenge for me to weave that into my sets in ways that really create those emotional moments, or like that pause, or where you pull everything out and just like create that empty space so that the rest can hit when it hits.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's sorry, you cut out.
Oh,
What'd you
sorry.
say?
I was saying it's music to me is like a decoration of time. Like
Yes,
it's
for sure.
always tell a story, and every time that I listen to different pieces of music, like I want either the same story or I want like a continuation, and I think especially music like yours or Josh Teague's or Antone's, like I always build these like creative fantastical stories where it's just like it takes you to a different place, and I feel it does invoke the emotion I think that you're trying to bring to the table, at least for me. Like I think Ray is almost the same way. I think all of our viewers are the same way, where it just makes life peaceful. I don't know. That's me. I get philosophical.
Yeah. I mean, like the reason why I was drawn to sampling vinyl in the beginning was because it triggered that like nostalgia immediately when you heard it. You could like place yourself in that moment in time. And that's, trying to do a similar thing.
It is. People have described like EDM now as like well, it wasn't classic rock then, but like they're saying it's like the new Zeppelin, Pink Floyd era, or like I don't know what they called it then. I guess it was just rock music, but I feel like it's the same. Like I think we have definitely hit that zone where now people are gonna be like, oh, we're putting on Maddy O'Neal like mom's cleaning the house this morning. Like, yeah, we are.
Well, that's a big compliment. Yeah, no, I know what you're trying to say though. Like we are, yeah.
I love.
No, and so one of the things is that, like, obviously, as we were just saying, it's a very high emotion thing. You've been touring, moving. What is one of the things that kind of keeps you grounded or kind of helps you come back to your creative intuition or whatnot throughout the process?
It's a good question. It's really, really hard to balance like having a life and touring and my creation time, and taking care of myself too. I think that over the last couple of years, I've really tried to take care of my body and like check in with myself more so than I used to, rather than just like flying through space on a tour, you know? Like having those, my last record was called Vital Signs, and it was kind of all about this concept. It was like checking in with yourself, check your vital signs, where are you at? What just happened? It's not always like what's next, what's next, what's next. And I think that that is huge for touring artists to have those moments of pause and to realize that if when your body is healthy, then you can think more clearly and you can live more presently. So my yoga practices and having a routine are really, really useful in maintaining that practice. And also, I have to balance my production time with touring, because if I'm playing too many shows and I'm not creating and putting that back into my live setting, it feels like starts to get stale to me, that I'm not like feeding the origin of why I'm doing this. So yeah, so that's really important too, is to balance the time that you have to create versus being on the road.
Do you find that creating music is therapeutic? I say that, and do you find creating music is more therapeutic than listening?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, they're both equally as therapeutic for sure. But I do start to feel a little crazy when I'm not making music, or if I go too long without it. Because I just feel like I have all this like built up emotions. That's kind of how I feel right now, actually. I'm like, I'm a little crazy.
Too much into it.
Yeah.
It'll be right here.
Yeah, I've been kind of hitting it hard with my show schedule this year, and I just feel all of this like built up inspiration that going into May and June, I guess the rest of this month too, I'm like full on lock myself in the studio, channel all of the inspiration that I've just gained over the last couple months, and I'm very excited about that, just to like be able to drop in and be in one place and kind of like be able to organize my thoughts. Because before I really start writing, and I usually have like huge spurts at a time, um, I really need to like sit there and gather my thoughts and set myself up to be in like a flow
Yeah.
state.
Have you ever, like, I'm sure you have, and this might be a silly question, but have you ever just like not had like this setting and then you just started making music? Like, is there any time where you've just been like, this sounds good, I'm gonna do it, no plan, and then just popped out with something insane?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I have like folders on my phone and like notes like all the time. If I hear like a sample or an old song in a coffee shop, like I'll write it down. So I'm like constantly like throwing things in that bucket, so that, you know, there are little ideas that I can start at any time, even if I'm sitting at the airport and I have time to kill. Usually I write like my bigger bodies of work when I have a chunk of time, but I've got a million ideas that I've started over the last couple months that I just haven't had time to like fully flesh out. So I'm excited to do that too.
Except for the powerhouse, like I love that you have, I don't love that you have all this emotion, but I do love what it's
It's not a bad thing.
it's
It's overwhelming
I'm
sometimes.
so glad that you have the outlet. Not everyone has an outlet to release that emotion, and some people don't know how, but you have done it. Practice your vital signs, and you found a way that helps you, help us, helps the world. So
Yeah,
you've done,
that's a cool way to think about it.
gotta be positive.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes, I love it.
We live the dream. So you're coming, it's been what, since 2021, I think, since you've been in Richmond, and you were here with Marvel Years from Pfeiffer.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I do remember that now.
yeah.
It's all coming back.
The gears are turning. So
Yes.
we just had Marvel Pfeiffer was just here with Manic Focus, and I'm just like, oh, is 2025 like a reuniting? That's like, what can we expect? Can we expect like an emergence of like? I'm just wondering what the set's gonna be look like. Are we
Yeah,
gonna
I
get
mean,
some? Are we gonna get some new? Are we gonna get like a Maddy explosion of life?
yeah. I mean, so because I've been doing all these support slots, those sets are usually a lot shorter. So I'm really, really excited for Richmond because I'll probably play around 90 minutes or so, and I have like a little bit more room to expand and like throw in little tidbits here and there. Um,
Gonna
yeah,
bring out
I'm actually
the
I'm gonna work on my set tonight and tomorrow. Um, but there's definitely going to be some new ideas in there. Some going into festival season, I'm kind of in this experimental zone of like trying out different things. You know, even if it's like a little tidbit of a remix that I found that I want to tease. So I'm kind of like, I'm in this like revamping of my live set zone. You guys will
Just
be the first of that experiment.
my dog is like, yeah, just have fun now. We're excited. Like, there's this Mary in here. MJ is in here. She's actually opening for you. Shout out
Oh,
MJ.
hell yeah. Yeah. What's up, Mary?
Can't wait.
Yay.
So I think everyone is really happy for it. Like, I'm super excited for this all-female lineup. Like, I keep bringing it up. I'm like, y'all, please, like, not only just for that, but I think there's so much, and this might be controversial, but there's so much negativity when it comes to, like, females in the DJ and this male-dominated industry. I'm like, no, you know what? We're bad bitches, okay? And
Yeah.
hear us, hear our music, and love our music, and just appreciate the fact that we're loving it and we're giving you the same experience that anybody else can. And it's also, at least for me, like, it's a safe space. Like,
It's meant to be.
For sure.
It's meant to. Music is definitely. It's a, and I think
Yeah,
it's
we
a revival right now of that kind of like music is becoming a safe space again where people can truly kind of just get in and experience. But to build a
Express
female
them.
safe space and then to have it be like it has amazed me to realize how many lineups are just straight guys, and it's one of those things that to have a powerhouse lineup such as this one coming to town is freaking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's badass that there's enough females crushing it right now that that's even possible. So yeah, thank you for reminding me that it was, because I totally forgot. I have tour brain and I'm like, oh wait, yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's bad bitch time on Saturday.
You, Asteria, Rachel, and MJ. Like, yeah, it's so good.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I'm pumped.
Y'all are gonna crush it. Like, I'm so excited. And it falls on Bicycle Day. If anybody's
Oh
coming, yeah, it's on Bicycle. So just have fun. Anybody
Yes.
watching, either be safe,
Yeah.
line up, don't dream too hard on Bicycle Day.
Put your guardrails on. That's all.
That's
Or your pegs, whatever. Training wheels.
Putting floaties on people.
out leashes so that you can't lose them.
The backpacks with the leashes on them.
Yeah.
We're talking about the female lineup, and you're an excellent female artist. My curiosity is, what advice would you have for both artists starting up now and then also female artists that you think you wish someone had told you earlier getting into the game?
Two pieces of advice that I always give are, one, don't give up. I think a lot of people, especially nowadays, are wanting like instant gratification or instant success, and they get really discouraged if they don't feel something right away. But I think it takes a long time to even find your own lane and grow into yourself as an artist. I'm 10 plus years deep, and I'm just now kind of feeling like I'm like, oh, you know, I
Hi, Maddy.
found my yeah, like it takes longer than you think to really hone that, and you're always going to be evolving. There's never like a I've made it moment. You hit these landmarks and then you set other goals, and if you have the mind state that you never want to stop learning, I think that's most important. And yeah, someone said enjoy the process. That's a great one.
Yeah, enjoy the process.
Yeah, because it's I think people get too caught up in you know the future and what's next. That whole mentality goes with this, because in the music industry you're booked out almost like a year in advance, so you're always thinking about the future. But I think taking those moments, enjoying the process, and enjoy learning, enjoy fucking up, enjoy the messiness in between, and the moments that you have and the people that you meet along the way are like, those are the nuggets. That's what it's all about. And advice, second piece of advice would be to immerse yourself in whatever community is in front of you. Your local scene. If you find like a Discord group that you like. Find other producers that you have common interests with, and don't be afraid to reach out to people, because you'd be surprised at how many people will actually hit you back. Like I try to be that person, and listen to as much music as I can that people send me. You're gonna miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So if you find somebody that you fuck with, hit them up, send them a compliment, send them your music, like whatever. But I think connecting with other people that are on similar wavelengths as you kind of like helps you, attract the things that you're wanting to attract.
Yeah. Is there anybody up and coming right now? Oh, I'm sorry if we didn't get to the last part. Were you finished?
Oh no. That's all I got.
Is there anyone up and coming right now that you're like, yeah, watch out, like they're about to pop off?
I actually just saw AG entered the chat. He is one of my favorite producers right now. I think he's
love
super
him.
underrated,
So
crushing.
good.
I'll see him in Boston Friday. It's Wednesday, yeah, Friday.
He lives in He'll be with Stellar, Gardella, Book Approves, and on May 8th. I should be shouting out the sound check like that.
You're like, yeah. Shout out AG.
Love him. AG is really
yeah.
unreleased. Oops. Sorry, but
yeah.
It's so good. Anybody?
Yeah. I'm always hitting him up for his unreleased shit. And there's a whole like group of like up and coming producers that I try to keep tabs on, because they're just making like the hottest shit right now. And I love playing out people's tracks. There was a track of his that I could not get out of my set forever. I always try and shout people out, and like be that person that did that for me, or that I wanted to have. You know what I mean?
It goes a long way. It makes you like just want to go harder. I think just as a human, when somebody recognizes like who you are, you're just like, all right,
yeah,
I'll just keep going. I don't know. When somebody like I see you and keep going, that's the best.
Yeah.
And someone like AG.
Yeah, it goes a long way. I mean, him and I just put out that track on the Odyssey compilation called "Wish You Could," and that was super fun to work with him on that. What'd you say?
It's my current profile song on Trippyland 804.
Oh hell yeah! That one was really fun because I finally fucked around with like the AI voice stuff. So it's me saying the like you should, like you wish you could. So I tried to make myself sound harder than I am.
Hard though.
Yeah. Sound, yeah. I wanted to match that energy.
You crushed it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Heck yeah, I think we've touched all the random ideas. I'm curious if there's anything you wanted to plug that you have coming up, any projects, tours, people.
Well, I just finished up one of the busiest like firsts of my year. I think I've played like almost 30 shows already, and it's only April. So yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of LSZEE dates coming up. Friday I'll be in Boston right before Richmond, and then I've got one more show with LSZEE in Omaha, and then kind of just like festival season starts, which half of those are announced and half not. But look out for a Madhaus EP. I'm gonna start trickling those out as soon as I finish everything.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm working on a fall tour as well, and I'm writing my next bass record to go along with that. And I'm kind of trying to finish up some fun bootleg remix stuff that I'm going to trickle out over the summer. And you'll probably be hearing teasers of that in my festival sets. And yeah, I'm really excited to just be in one place for a little bit, write as much music as I can before festival season is like full on blast off,
It's
so I can have a bunch of new stuff. What was that?
a festival season is a madhouse.
Yes, it is. And it always creeps up way faster than you think. I'm just like, what the hell? It was just winter.
Now I'm like every weekend I'm somewhere.
Yeah.
7,
But yeah,
18.
I've got a lot in the works.
We know. Maddie don't stop. Maddie don't stop unless we do. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. Do you have any questions for us? This is an interview.
Yeah. Um, since I haven't been back to Richmond in so long, how would you describe like your scene, or what's one of your, you know, favorite parts about it?
Our scene is amazing. I don't just say that, but like our community has come together considerably.
I love
I
that.
would say a lot of the artists that have been here in the past have come back recently and been like, what is, like, this is crazy. Y'all have really like banded together, like everybody's friends. Like it's just so beautiful. Like the vibes are so good. Immaculate.
Richmond Renaissance. I love it.
Yes.
From the sound system guy, I had a show 2 weeks ago or last weekend, and he built a 9-foot sound stack that was super crispy, and what blows my mind about the Richmond scene is the diversity in both characters and sounds. That, like, if you love music, there is a place for you in Richmond, and it fascinates me to see that, you'll see some of these people in smaller rooms and more niche shows, and then when we have people like you and Of the Trees and these larger names come to town, you really see everybody come out, and it almost feels like a renaissance of the community, where we're really building connections and making it, I don't say fun again, but like a very fun experience for everybody. That it's dope to see. We have so many cool shows, all these dope ideas that it's the blessing.
It is. And it's true. So
That's
many
awesome.
one big ass family, and it's true. Like the family's always growing, and we bring in new members every day. Like we always have each other's back, and we are always not only creating new music, as the musicians here are just growing. We have so many talented artists, but we're also there to support one another through everything. And you'll see it in Radiate group chats. You'll see it within your Instagram or your Discords or anything else. Like when you said, take care of your community and be the people be with the people that you want to be with. That's Richmond.
Yeah.
It is. It's
sick.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You're gonna fit.
I mean, one of the coolest things to me about touring is like going to a city that you aren't familiar with at all, and literally just like watching it come to life, and having zero expectations, and then you leave and you're like, damn, like what is going on there? Like it is popping. So yeah, I'm excited to be back. We're overdue.
Yeah.
Especially because I couldn't think about when I was back previously. That means it's time.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys in person.
No, we can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to us and just be yourself and make music and all this. And we're gosh darn excited for this weekend. I can't wait.
And if there's crazy or like anything you want that's not included on your rider, let me know and I'll bring it.
Okay.
You want
cool.
Toblerone? I'll bring you a Toblerone.
Dried mangoes, but those are on my rider.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my little
industrial bag.
Nice. Yeah, get that Costco size. Well, hell yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
You just got me extra pumped to sit here and work on my set. So
we hope, if you
hyping
need
me up.
inspiration, call us.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well, thanks for having me. I'll see you guys very, very soon.
Yeah.
Check it.